Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I hope you've all had a triumphant Tuesday so far. Today we're going to be diving into Cardano, and we've got a lot to get through in this video, so I will try and keep it as short and sweet as possible. However, there's quite a bit to cover. So we're, of course, going to be looking at Cardano. I'm going to be bringing Cardano up against Bitcoin and the NASDAQ because I am going to issue a little bit of a warning. Yes, the cryptocurrency market is seeing a bit of an uptick at the moment, and things are certainly more positive today than they were yesterday. Monday was a bit of a weird day for the cryptocurrency space, as lots of traders got wrecked to both the long and the short side as the day started off very sort of down in the dumps, but then we finished and kind of closed a lot higher than we certainly started the day off. And I'm going to be issuing a bit of a warning because there is still this huge elephant in the room that is the kind of macro backdrop of everything that may not provide the right conditions for a flourishing cryptocurrency market in the short term. So we'll be talking about that. We're going to go over a lot of the news articles at the moment, like the fact that Cardano added 100,000 wallets in just the past month. And like Charles Hoskinson is correctly stating here, this is just the start. Talking about the fact that we have 74.1% of Cardano staked. So out of the overall supply, 74.1% is currently staked to the network. And what I want to really, the reason that I bring this up, one comment I always get is, okay, if that many people are staking, why is the price sold off by 70%? Well, price works essentially 26%, less than 26% of the overall supply dictates the price of the entire asset, if that makes sense. So only if we have 74% is staked and isn't getting bought and sold, essentially you have 24% or 26% that is dictating the overall price of Cardano, which we'll speak about a little bit. And we'll go over a number of different news articles talking about the fact that we have 400 new projects building on top of ADA. This is a trend that we're seeing continue, and Cardano is just going from milestone to milestone. So let's start things off by looking at the overall cryptocurrency market. Again, things are a little bit more chirpy than they certainly were yesterday. Quite a few altcoins are sort of outperforming Cardano at the moment, like TERRA and SOLANA. But Cardano is not doing too badly at all. And of course, this is really led by Bitcoin. And markets really across the board are doing quite well. So we've seen an uptick for the NASDAQ today. A lot of your equities, which we know the cryptocurrency market is very correlated to. One reason I'm going to issue a bit of a warning, and we'll start on the lower time frames and work our way up, is for me a real crucial level that I need to see ADA get back above is this $1 mark. So this is somewhere that I think Cardano, for me to flip extremely, or not extremely bullish, but start to maintain a bullish bias again, or a strong bullish bias, I should say, Cardano really needs to sort of flip this $1 mark. That's something that I really would like to see. Not only flip it, but actually hold it. And what I don't want to see is us coming up to it and retesting and failing to get above it. Because if you look at how significant, and we'll move up the time frames as I'm talking about this and then move on to our objective outlook on ADA and the cryptocurrency market. If you look at how significant this level is, you can see very quickly, rejection, support, it's then failed as support. You can see it holds a support here, support, 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 and you can see it actually acts as resistance here. So it's a very significant level that I think we need to get above. What we'll do is actually see if there's any more sort of short-term levels that we're looking at the moment. You know, obviously you want to sort of clear. You can see there's obviously quite a bit of volume here. I'm sure if we put the volume profile up, it would show that. And this is another sort of key level that we need to get above and start climbing out of here, if you will. But ultimately, long term, we're extremely bullish about ADA, and we think in terms of on-chain and the blockchain itself, it's just going from strength to strength, and that's very apparent and evident, and we're going to move on to that in just a second. So in yesterday's video, and we'll go right up to the monthly timeline, we actually spoke about taking a objective view on Cardano. And what I was really talking about is the fact that ADA essentially has gone up, I think, 16,000 something percent to its high, 16,000 percent plus, and is now pulling back. You know, we're having a kind of cooling off of this, and this is, of course, correlated with markets across the board. We'll leave Bitcoin off of log scale, but you can see Cardano, just like every other asset class out there, really appreciated from March 2020 and has seen a huge appreciation in terms of monetary policy. This, of course, is we're at the other end of that, and they're now actually talking about, instead of being very accommodating to markets with monetary policy, actually looking to potentially dampen them. And that's why we're seeing such a correlation that we're seeing. And that is still very present and relevant, guys, which is why we're looking for certain levels. And I still am cautiously optimistic, very optimistic on Cardano on the long-term time frame. But at the moment, I'm extremely cautious about what's taking place currently. You know, it's not the... to me, it doesn't seem to be the fertile ground for a runaway bull market. In actual fact, I think we're going to chop for a little bit, and I think we're going to kind of battle our way out. I'm seeing nothing but opportunities when I look at ADA. I mean, if you look at that, guys, you know, it's kind of, this is potentially what I think's happening. You're moving in these kind of wave-like structures, and you're going to, you know, this is going to be the future moving forwards. Just like Bitcoin moves in the sort of four-year cycle theory, I think things aren't going to take 4 years to move in this kind of wave-like pattern anymore. And in fact, your cycles are going to get a lot more compressed. But I am still somewhat cautious that, you know, we're still in a very uncertain macro environment. And I think there's a lot going on right now that hasn't yet filtered through and been factored into markets. And of course, markets right now are very much driven by monetary policy, which is something that we maintain, that we keep sort of reiterating, because it's so crucial to understand that as it's moving our market. It's literally the driving factor of our market at the moment. Just getting started. Justin, Cardano has added 100,000 wallets to its network in the past month. This is exactly right what Charles is saying here. This is just the start. We don't even have a built-out ecosystem yet. We don't even have really stable coins other than on Wing Rider, which actually have limited applications at the moment, and it's not the perfect sort of stable coin, certainly if you're looking to trade into it, given the liquidity and a number of other things. But this is something that we're going to see continuing. Like I say, Cardano is just going from strength to strength. We have 74.1% of the overall supply actually staked right now, and people will go, okay, well, if that much is staked, how is it that we've managed to sell off by, you know, nearly 70% where we're currently at? Well, if you have 100 and we have 74% staked and we have 26% on the other end, if this is getting traded back and forth, this is what moves the price. 26%. When I say 62, that's the dyslexic and me muddling things around. But this 26% is dictating the price of the 100% of the asset, if that makes sense. So this trading back and forth, which is what moves markets. Markets are made at the margin. Hodlers do affect the market, but in a different way. They don't affect it immediately. The time when hodlers affect the market is when there's kind of a supply shock. But this 26%, and it's probably more, in my opinion, like 12% that's actually traded back and forth. Because if you think about that 26%, how many people actually hold Cardano and don't stake it? They just hold it in a wallet. Probably quite a few. So it's a lot less than 26% that actually dictates the overall supply of ADA, because it's what's being traded back and forth, if that makes sense. So this is another huge milestone. This is something, you know, why wouldn't you stake your ADA? It's liquid in many senses. There's no lock-in period or anything. And, you know, remember, we do actually have a stake pool whilst we're on the topic. Never miss a moment to sort of self-promote. My stake pool, of course, is called ALLIN. It's the official stake pool. You guys are welcome to come on board and stake with us. We are minting blocks consistently. We minted 3 blocks this epoch alone. And we do have 2.5 million Cardano staked to us, which is something that I can see growing. On to the next news article. Cardano records 400 new projects building on ADA in a month, bringing the total to almost 900 projects. And I think this was quoted from a input-output tweet. As of today, nearly 900 projects are building on Cardano, and this number goes up day by day. Keeping track of all the news from this incredible ecosystem is not easy, and this is why every week we compile an ecosystem digest with highlights and updates. And they talk about a number of things here. Projects building. We've got, I think, ADA Finance was mentioned here. They're looking to go on to testnet this coming month. So many great things happening, guys. You know, we've got Paribus. We've got a number of other things taking place. You know, there's a lot of amazing things going on at the moment, which certainly, you know, seem to be largely missed given the overall sentiment that's, of course, related to the price. But one thing that you really want to watch is, as an investor, you want to see sometimes it's a good thing when the price is disconnected from the actual asset that it's trying to represent, because it can mean that, you know, something can be undervalued. And given all the growth that's taking place on the Cardano network, down here where we are in terms of price, the blockchain is far more efficient and useful and utilized than it was up here at all-time highs. Price isn't reflective of that. And we will have brighter days, ladies and gentlemen. But like I say, that really all depends on the macro backdrop at the moment, which I'm hoping we see a decoupling of, and I think we will do. You know, crypto is here to stay. It's not going anywhere, and hopefully you can take some sort of solace or some sort of strength from that. So that is really all I have for you in this video, guys. If you have enjoyed this content, of course, a like is always appreciated. So is a comment. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're not already following me on Twitter, guys, head over to @RealAllInCrypto. We've got some amazing things coming for you. And that is really all I have for you in this video, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and I'll catch you all in the next YouTube video.